Hi there, my name is Mike Pitt. I make videos on crypto and business. The title for this video is What Happens After the Bitcoin Halving. Now, if you're a regular viewer or subscriber of this channel, you know I've made videos about the Bitcoin halving, so I will link to those in the description. But I want to give you my thoughts on the Bitcoin halving, which is scheduled to happen. I'm just going to look at the Bitcoin halving countdown clock, and it's saying 1 day, 17 hours, 14 minutes until 840,000 blocks have been mined. And the Bitcoin, if you don't know, the Bitcoin halving is when the mining reward for Bitcoin miners is cut in half, hence the term halving. So that happens every 4 years, and historically what has happened, I'll talk about what has happened on those 4 year cycles. Every 4 years when Bitcoin is halved and the halving event takes place, historically the price of Bitcoin has shot up, and that's sustained for around 12 months after that. So the Bitcoin halving is scheduled, it's the 18th of April when I'm making this video, and the Bitcoin halving is scheduled to happen on April the 20th. So if we follow historical precedents, the price of Bitcoin will then rise for a period of around 1 year, maybe 14 months. So new all-time, this is a part of the cycle when traditionally all-time highs are achieved. So it used to be around 70,000, and then earlier this year, because of the impact of the spot Bitcoin ETF approvals, a new high was achieved a couple of months ago, and I made a video actually on another platform about that. So what do I think will happen with the Bitcoin halving? I think things have changed slightly. I do think the prices will rise. I made a video on my prediction for the price of Bitcoin at the end of this year, and I stand by those figures, and I think I said 100,000 for Bitcoin around the end of the year. We're now, at the time of recording, we're down to 62,000. That's largely because of changes in geopolitical factors. And to cut through that, if you want a very quick summary of that, likelihood of war has increased in a number of particular countries. I'm not going to go into details there because I don't want this video to be demonetized. What I will say is geopolitical factors have an impact on people's economic outlook, and it impacts also the market for Bitcoin. People sometimes will need to withdraw their money from these long-term assets from Bitcoin, for example. So sometimes that has an impact. I believe that, yes, that I stand by that prediction that Bitcoin will reach 100,000 and perhaps more. But I do think there's been a fundamental change because there's been large institutional monies have flowed into Bitcoin since spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved in January. I made a video about that. If you're a regular subscriber and you follow the market, you'll be aware of that too. So there's a lot of institutional money that's come into Bitcoin. So the price volatility, which was always driven by retail investors, regular investors like yourself, like me, and it's a bit of a different cycle because of the impact of the ETFs, and they've changed. If you're sort of Bitcoin maximalist and you remember the traditional, the original ideals, so Bitcoin being, let's say, for the people, it's now no longer for the people or for the people solely because of the institutional investors have a lot of money invested in it. So people within who have bought the spot Bitcoin ETFs have invested in those, as well as people who've invested directly into Bitcoin, all now have a say, but the larger share of that is from institutional investors rather than from retail investors. So I believe, yes, the price will rise. What does that mean for you? I suppose that's more important. If you're an investor who is looking to buy low, of course, and then sell to optimize your gains at some point, and obviously this is not financial advice, at some point during the next 12 months or so, you probably should look to divest yourself of Bitcoin if that was your objective, to make a lot of money from Bitcoin increases, price rises, and then to exit the market. Then you should be doing that at some point during the next 12 months. That's up to you to determine when that is, when you've done your due diligence and your research. But if you're of the Michael Saylor position, and he's in a very fortunate position, obviously, with the amount of resources that he has said, and I've referenced this quote or this opinion on other social media platforms. He has said he's in it for the long term, and what he means by that is he's never divesting himself or his company MicroStrategy of Bitcoin. So he's going to stay in Bitcoin, for the long term, forever, until this whole scenario plays out in terms of Bitcoin vis-a-vis fiat currencies. Not all of us are in the position to have that much flexibility with our Bitcoin investments. So I advise you to obviously follow the markets, watch the halving, see the impact on Bitcoin, and then make your decisions about your investment in Bitcoin at some point over the next year, 12 months. But that's what I believe will happen when the Bitcoin halving takes place in a couple of days' time. And I look forward to reading your comments and your opinions in the comment section below. And when there's a significant reason for another video, obviously I'll make that. Thanks for your support. Until the next video, peace. Just give a few seconds to consider the videos that YouTube is recommending to you. They'll be on the screen now.